his mouth for 45 minutes.
We are live on open mic nights. Let's go. We got me talking sports. We got below me the TSPL host. And go ahead, Evan. You can introduce yourself.
I am talking sports by the lake host.
Oh, look.
Berman. Chris Berman Jr. got his colors on.
What? Sure do.
Sure do.
Oh, I know. Nobody circles the wagons.
Nobody. Yeah.
I waved the white flag of surrender.
Mm.
No white flag.
Speaking of,
The only good thing about blowouts, though, the second string gets to come in, win or lose. I know I sound like a participation trophy guy, but hey, it's a good feeling though, win or lose, because at least it gives your backup players reps and you get depth. So,
Jamie, I would have rather seen the Jags cheerleaders play defense than the whatever defense we played last night.
You know what? I'll tell you what it is. I'll tell you exactly what it is, Dylan. The Bills bucked the trend of not being a ground and pound team like they usually are, because there was actually a stat that said the first 3 weeks, running the ball was up more than passing, but the Bills fooled everybody and bucked the trend and said, we're just going to air it out. And that just tells you, Dylan, you played the wrong defense. You probably were trying to stop the ground and pound, but we just aired it out on you, and then there was nothing you could do once we got up big.
What the heck kind of defense were you playing? I mean, you're playing man-to-man against Josh Allen. That'd be like, come on. Why
you're not going to play zone it? He's going to pick you apart. You're not going to do it playing zone either. He's going to pick you apart either way.
But
whoever was playing Josh Allen last night was not stopping them. I don't care what defense was on the field.
No, but
can I be honest? I know the real reason that the Buffalo Bills are 3-0.
All right, let's hear it, Cleveland Brown, Deshaun Watson guy. Go ahead.
It's because Ken Dorsey's not the offensive coordinator.
We were 3-1 with him last year before he got fired. So,
what's the one major subtraction from the Buffalo Bills, guys?
Diggs.
Chemistry. Chemistry means a lot.
They got the chemistry now because everybody.
No Diggs, no Davis.
What's their mentality now? Everybody eats. And guess what? There was a sign last night that said everybody eats when James cooks. The Elvis guy put that up.
Hey, Jamie, did you see the sign of the one girl saying I'm married, but I'd give up my husband for Josh Allen?
I did see that. I was thinking, oh boy, hubby ain't gonna be proud of that. But honestly, what girl wouldn't do that? He's a good-looking guy, but he's got a boyfriend. But he's got a girlfriend, though. That's the problem.
Is that why he's
girlfriend a lot more money than you do, boss?
No, but I wouldn't be surprised that a woman would do that. He's good-looking and he's a quarterback. So.
Anyway,
I know that's a stereotypical age-old. The girls think the quarterback's good-looking, but
all right. So we got it all out of our system. The Bills fucking kicked ass.
But Adam, I got a stat for you on baseball. And Rich, I don't know. I think you might want to buckle down for this one. But guess what? With the way it's going on, if this trend continues, it's going to be the first time since 2014 that nobody's won 100 regular season games.
Yeah, a lot of parity in Major League Baseball this year.
Too much parity.
I wonder how do you think that's gonna work in the playoffs now with nobody winning 100 games?
To be honest,
I don't think that matters.
I think we're going to have more unpredictability in the playoffs because I look at the Dodgers starting pitching right now, and it's unpredictable. I mean, the Phillies look like the favorite in the National League. I mean, the Yankees may or may not be in the favor in the AL. But other than Garrett Cole, how many of those guys pitch big games in October? And guess what teams are going to do if Aaron Judge comes to the plate with men on base? 4 balls. Go.
No, we ain't.
They wouldn't walk him on base with bases loaded. That means they would give up a run. The Yankees would score.
We ain't go.
Smart.
We ain't gonna pitch to that man. Excuse me, I said that all wrong. We're gonna pitch to him, and we're gonna pitch to Juan Soto. Cleveland. We're not worried about that because we
Wait a
played them. Look at the statistics. This year and last year's playoffs, Aaron Judge has struggled against the guys we got in our bullpen. We'll be okay.
Here's the thing, though. The Yankees didn't make the playoffs last year, though.
Or last time we played them.
Yeah, but if you look at the American League playoff teams, taking into consideration, let's say that the Tigers and the Royals are wild cards, okay? The best pitching matchup staff-wide to the Yankees is Cleveland. And
wait a minute.
But everybody else, if I have any question or doubt in my mind, 4 balls. See ya. But the pitching staff for Cleveland, in comparison to the other playoff teams, best comparison to Judge as far as results.
Cleveland's starting pitching is not going to get out Aaron Judge in a best of 5, best of 7. The only team that could maybe shut down Judge is Houston because they've got a bunch. They've got studs left and right. They might not even need Verlander.
No. Evan, I'm gonna let you go on this one, man. But I disagree 1,000,000% with that
The
statement.
Astros aren't the same without Dusty as the manager, though. I'm sorry, they're not.
I don't know. Aaron Bleeping Boone isn't Casey Stengel.
I'm looking up his playoff stats against us right now.
You're talking about the same Casey Stengel, though, Dylan, that looked great with the Yankees. But what record does he hold with the Mets that the White Sox are going to beat? Yeah, he was the man. He was also that same Casey Stengel that led him to the worst record in MLB history that the White Sox are going to break. Let's remember that he did horrible with the Mets.
The Mets were an expansion,
even though he was great with the Yankees.
Evan's got something to say.
Go ahead, Ev.
Aaron Judge has a batting average of .122 with 6 hits, 2 home runs, and 7 RBIs, and a total of 13 games against the Guardians in the playoffs.
Mm-hmm. But he's also batting .323 in an era now where the league average is only like .250. So.
Oh, by the way, Aaron Judge hit another home run tonight.
That's all great, but you heard it there. Look, guys, we have all of our pitchers are coming back from injury right now.
Wait, Shane Bieber's not coming back.
I don't count his ass on the team. No way. He should have been gone before he got hurt. But I'm talking about like Tristan McKenzie, Gavin Williams. Those guys are all starting to return. Tristan McKenzie is going to be coming out the bullpen unless somebody gets hurt. Everybody else that we have and the guys that we traded for at the deadline match up against the entire batting lineup for the Yankees. We're not worried. I understand that he's hot in the regular season, but we can go look at his postseason stats.
Just to let you know, the Guardians have secured first round bye.
Yep. And
they won they won the AL Central then?
Yeah, we just beat the Reds.
Yeah, we still need, even though we're losing tonight, we just need one in these next few games, and we got the East.
Right, Jamie, but like I just said, they're a 1 or 2 seed. The Guardians are 1 or 2 seed.
Right, but as Joe and I talked about on our show, that don't matter now with the way this playoff format is. Because look at last year, look at what we got in the World Series. We got two teams that snuck in as a wild card, made the World Series, and they had the worst World Series ratings.
Whoa. Back that snuck in stuff out of here. The Rangers dominated that division for 90% of the season. They had injuries hit, and they ended up getting the wild card. There was no backing into that. They had the wild card locked up in freaking August. But here's a little something for you guys, okay? Aaron Judge has hit 56 home runs this year. Of the playoff teams, assuming that you have Baltimore, Kansas City, and Detroit as your wild cards, because Minnesota could still get in.
Right.
He has hit 2 against Houston, 1 against Kansas City, 2 against Detroit, 3 against Baltimore, and 4 against Cleveland, but he had 3 in one game and had 1 the following night. So that's what Aaron has done home run wise against the playoff teams this year.
But see, Evan, I want to get back to your point about his postseason things and everything. You got to remember that was back when he was a one-dimensional hitter. He's gotten better at making contact hits now. He's not a one-dimensional player like he was when he first came into the league.
And you know what also helps the Yankees? The guy hitting in front of Judge, Soto.
Easy double
That's
play.
why they're paying him.
I want them to re-sign him, but it means they're going to have to give up Jazz Chisholm, who I really like, because the one thing I like about him is he steals bases in the era of bigger bases. I want guys like that.
That's who I'm worried about if we go against the Yankees. That's who I'm worried about.
Because look at
Yes.
how that's how Arizona made the World Series last year. They were a young team that stole a bunch of bags, like how the Red Sox did this year. That's how Arizona got in last year.
I don't care what team it is, whatever team it is. I'm not letting Judge and Soto beat me. If the other 7 guys beat me, that's fine. That piece of garbage, LeMahieu and Volpe and Rice, who did a bunch in the beginning and ain't done nothing since.
LeMahieu's out, and we got Jason Dominguez now, buddy.
Or Verdugo or any of those. I let those guys beat me. I don't let Judge and Soto beat me. If I'm any of those teams in the playoffs, if those other 7 guys beat me, fine. I'm not letting Judge and Soto beat me.
You forgot Austin Wells, too, who's now in the conversation for AL Rookie of the Year as a catcher.
Oh, Big G.
Yeah, Stanton bugs me, though. He really does.
Stanton doesn't hit his weight.
No, but the funny thing is when he cracks the ball, he's inconsistent, though. When he cracks the ball out, he hits home runs, but he either grounds out or he just whiffs at pitches, too.
Jamie, Stanton is a one step higher Joey Gallo.
At this point, yeah.
He hits it 7 miles when he hits it.
I don't know how you compare Giancarlo Stanton to Joey Gallo. I don't think that's a fair comparison.
At this point in his career, yes, it is.
I don't think it is.
Okay, well, we're going to talk about something else.
That's fine. We can move on.
I have a bone to pick. Well, it's not really a bone to pick. I'm going to do a shameful pat on the back here.
Are you complimenting the Steelers? Is that what I'm getting right now?
No, I'm about to give you a backhanded compliment and a weird question. Do you believe Mike Tomlin? Do you believe in Mike Tomlin now?
No, he still sucks, just like I always say. I can answer that. There we go.
Always gonna rep the stamp. See my jersey behind. I'm not a fan of the stamp coach, though. I'm not. Who'd we beat? Kirk Cousins, who played his first game of the year. Oh, fucking Evan disappeared.
The same
already.
team that beat Philadelphia and was a pass interference away from beating the Chiefs.
Game.
Pull your mic closer.
Right, and I said it last Wednesday too. I said if Cousins would have played a little bit in the preseason, he would have been warmed up and been at the level where he was at with the Eagles.
But it also didn't help that Alton Smith being rolled out the Falcons and the Falcons.
I just hate when you're that guy.
Then we played a rookie quarterback, which you should have beat, and we barely beat him. Then we played a hurt quarterback, and who hobbled out of the game, and we beat Tyler Heineke.
You played classic Steeler football and ran the ball well in those games to 3 wins. It doesn't, like I said, that's Steeler football, running the ball, man.
The
And you,
reason
and you finally got a dual threat quarterback in
Fields has
Justin
their own
Fields.
winning rushing touchdown, I believe.
the reason I'm asking, do you still hate your coach? He did
He
Kenny
just said he
Pickett.
still does. He's like, I'm always going to hate him no matter what he does.
Yeah, but he don't realize the goal. He did Kenny Pickett the same way the Browns did Baker Mayfield.
I don't know about the,
Look, wait.
I don't
And
know.
I'll
What
listen
did-
to this.
what did
I'll
the
listen.
Browns what happened when the Browns realized that Baker wasn't a dude?
it's because they wanted to get an RPO type of quarterback.
That's
Maybe
not
Baker Mayfield wasn't an
that's not
RPO
what
guy.
that's
Deshaun Watson's an RPO guy.
that's
why.
not that's not why they gave up on Baker.
That's what I think.
Baker can do RPO.
Baker could do RPO. They gave up on Baker because of Baker's attitude. He was too immature for where we needed him to be.
Look,
I'm happy. I'm happy for his success. But what did they do? What did they do against the Steelers in Green Bay those last couple weeks with Nick Chubb healthy? What did they keep doing?
Run.
Nope. They kept throwing that ball.
Oh, that's right. They did throw the ball. That's right.
They kept throwing the ball. What did you guys do?
Wait, Jerome Ford ran for like 124 yards that game, didn't he? After Chubb got hurt.
Yeah, but that wasn't that's with Deshaun Watson. I'm talking about when Baker was here, they kept throwing the ball. They just kept throwing the ball to the point where TJ Watt stopped rushing the quarterback and just waited for Baker to throw and kept jumping up and batting the pass down. And then they went to Green Bay and kept doing the same thing. They put his flaws on tape. What did y'all? You don't agree with that?
I actually do agree with that, Evan, because look at the league now. Like I said, we talk about you say that we don't run the ball anymore, but because we don't pay the running backs anymore, right? But guess what? Guess what the NFL teams are learning? You still have to have a running game, even though we're devaluing the running back position. That's what's happening.
And I agree with that.
Go ahead, Rich. We're gonna say something. Hold on, Evan. Hold on. We're getting more to your answer. Go ahead, Rich.
They get it. Oh, okay. The big thing I'm looking at, yeah, with your mic as far away as it is, I can't always hear what you're.
Not even that far. It's like great.
At least he's got a mic, though. I don't have one. I just roasted myself, Rich. So,
But no,
Fail.
when you look at one of the biggest differences with Baker, though, is Baker had a whole lot more talent, to me anyway, than Pickett did coming in. But this team is, and I don't remember if it was here or on our show that I made the statement that the Steelers could go 17-0 and Adam would still find a way to hate Tomlin.
you did say that on the show, and Rich.
But the thing I got to look at with this team, and I said it last week, and I'm going to say it again tonight. Fields is not doing things to cost the Steelers games.
Mm-hmm.
More than anything else. He doesn't have to throw for 300, 400 yards. He doesn't have to throw the ball 300 or 30 times, 40 times a game.
Mm-hmm.
Be a regular quarterback, throw it 25 times a game, run the ball maybe 10 times. Don't make mistakes. Don't turn the ball over.
Or let him just pound the rock. Or let him just pound the rock with Harris and Warren and
or with him,
Patterson, like you did against the Chargers, and take all that time off the clock. It works.
Yeah, and then let him run every now and then. But you have to take care of that ball. If I can get one turnover every 3 games, I guarantee you, if the Steelers have one turnover every 3 games, I guarantee you on everything that is holy, the Steelers are a playoff team and probably win the division.
With Justin Fields, like you said, what does he have to do? Manage the offense, manage the game. He doesn't have to be a Mahomes or a Brady. Just manage the offense.
So they're saying that Russell Wilson is still QB1 on this depth chart.
I don't buy that. This is Fields' team.
But Tomlin's going to put Wilson in. There's no
If it
doubt
ain't
in my mind.
broke, Adam, don't fix it.
There's no doubt in my mind.
Adam, he can't.
Right, I just said
No
that.
doubt in my mind.
Rich. If it ain't
He's
broke,
right.
don't fix it.
That is Tomlin's
If-
guy that he forced to bring in. He's got to prove something to this team.
Here we
And
go.
Adam-
Bring
Okay,
Tomlin
let's
again,
just-
right?
Let's just for argument's sake, because we know it's not going to happen this week, and we know what's happening next week with the Steelers. Two things are going to happen. If that guy wearing 3 steps on that field against Dallas, two things are going to happen. One, he's going to get booed right out of the stadium. And two, I'm going to Pittsburgh and taking his butt off the field. Because there is no conceivable way that guy's beating the Cowboys. There's no
And-
way. He's just stepping on the field. Justin Fields has proven in the last 3 games. What? Okay, you were talking about the bad quarterbacks. I guess if they beat the Colts, they beat another bad quarterback, right?
Anthony Richardson's not a bad quarterback. I got him on my fantasy team. He's got
I'm going
potential.
with Adam's analogy for the first 3 games.
I mean, I'll tell you, Anthony Richardson is more on the crappy than non-crappy side of quarterbacks. He can't even.
He's doing good for me on fantasy. He's winning me points. He didn't do good for me this week, but
And I'll
Then
tell you
again,
what, as
Patrick
lousy as
Mahomes
the
doesn't
Cowboys
run anything.
defense is
here we go.
playing right
Torres.
now,
What?
I want to see Fields out there against the Cowboys defense. As lousy as that defense is playing right now, he'll run those guys into the dirt.
Justin Fields kind of reminds me he could be another Cordell Stewart if you develop him right.
I think that's limited in
think
his
that-
potential.
Yeah, I think he could be better than Cordell. I think he could be a smaller version of a Michael Vick.
I just think Tomlin's going to start Wilson. I do.
He can't
Adam,
throw.
If it
Man,
ain't broke, don't fix it. All right.
I don't think Tomlin's that dumb, man. I really don't.
You're just only
can't
we
throw
get it.
him.
We get it, Adam. Tomlin lives free in your right hand. He could do the most charitable thing and you would still hate him. Okay, we get it.
I know when he's gonna play Wilson. When they got a bunch of injury, like the Steelers have
Oh,
every year.
I won't
Like-
have respect for that man if he does not play Wilson all year.
What'd you say about it?
Respect for him if he doesn't play Wilson all year.
But
I
why would
guarantee-
he, like I said, why would he put him in now when you're 3-0 with Fields? All right.
He gonna
That's the
put.
way- That's the way the talk is here, Jamie. That's the
He's-
way the talk is here. It's horrible. It's absolutely horrible garbage talk. They talk
Right.
Wilson like a fucking god, and like it just sounds like this is like Tomlin leaning into the media saying make Wilson really good, get it in all their heads, get it in all their ears. This is the way it sounds around here. Like no one's talking about how
Your organization's spoiled too, because look at my organization before we had Josh Allen. We missed the playoffs 17 years in a row. At least your franchise has had, for the most part,
We've had a good
consistent
enough
success.
coach to get us in there without Ben, is what we've done. But here's the other thing. And I listen to Pittsburgh Sports Radio, and Adam is right. Those guys are, I don't know what exact planet some of those guys are working off of. But that you have to take into consideration, there has to be that consideration that the man ain't lost yet.
hold on. Mark Madden is the only one that says keep Fields in there, just to let everyone know.
And Mark Madden's a piece of trash. This just
I like Mark.
he
I like-
was
I-
he was
I can't-
don't even get me started on Madden. I go all the way back to WCW with him. So don't even get me started on Madden.
I'm just saying.
I'll get the
Like
Mad Dog. I'll get the Mad Dog in Madden next week.
Madden's the only one that's like pretty like down to earth, sees shit as it is around here. It might not always seem right, but for some damn reason, it always works out right his way. I don't know.
I
hate
saw
to
him
say
move.
it. That's just the way it is, Rich. Go back and
I
listen
saw
to some
him
of his
move.
predictions, and then you'll see it. Like he kind of predicted this whole Pirate season from step 1 to step 4.
Well, I saw a thing earlier today that was a projection, but if you can get all the parts involved, I'd do it in a minute. Pittsburgh sends a 3 to Miami. Miami gets a DeAndre Hopkins comes from Tennessee to Pittsburgh. Miami sends a 3 and a 4 to Tennessee. Russ goes to Miami. DeAndre comes to Pittsburgh. Tennessee gets a couple of picks.
Tyler Huntley's starting this week for Miami, by the way. They announced it.
So when are we going to see Mason Rudolph? Because Will Levis sucks.
Bryce Young.
This just in, Mason Rudolph sucks too.
Bryce Young.
I would rather see
Bryce
would
Young
rather
to Tennessee, you think?
Rudolph out there.
Oh, to Miami.
How many times have they called Ryan Tannehill in the last 3 weeks?
He's 36 years old. He can't play anymore. Look at what happened last year.
I don't know.
You're going to tell me he's better? He's worse than Levis?
Levis is a rookie.
Mason Rudolph.
Yeah.
It's
If
his
that-
second
The two
year,
worst
Will
plays
Levis.
in the last 10 years. He's made the two worst plays in the last 10 years in the NFL.
Are we?
Ryan Tannehill would, even when he played, he was just a game manager. He was nothing special. We all know that.
But we can't trust nothing that Tennessee doing anyway. Because look what happened with my man Malik Willis.
Oh,
Yeah, he looked
I mean,
pretty good
Malik
up
Willis
there.
looks like Jordan Love.
Willis can play. I think he's one of
I've
those
always
guys
liked
that would be a
Malik
career
Willis.
backup.
I honestly thought he should have went ahead of Pickett last year. Or
A lot of the Steelers fans wanted Malik Willis at the time.
I did.
I know you did, Adam, and a lot of them did too.
Well,
But
I know I didn't like Willis coming to Pittsburgh, but I think Willis is going to be a career backup.
I like
Kind
my
of in the
dual threat
mold of like a
quarterback.
Chase
I like
Daniel,
them.
Chase Daniel or Cooper Rush that, if
Charlie
he has to
Bass.
play 3-4 games a year, he can do fine.
Right, but the
But
difference
if you got to put him out
between
there for
Malik
16,
Will-
you're
Cooper Rush-
cooked.
Rich, the one difference
Yeah.
is Malik Willis is a dual threat. Cooper Rush isn't a dual threat quarterback.
can I ask a question?
yep.
Yeah, go ahead.
I was having
just
like
did.
thanks. I was having a knockdown, drag out argument with some guys at my job about Deshaun Watson, and I'm not gonna
Well-
get into the Watson part, but there's a serious argument here, and I want to know everybody's opinion,
We'll start with Dylan first.
and that's exactly who I was gonna go to because Trevor Lawrence was a part of this argument.
Oh God.
Oh, shit.
Oh, the Clemson quarterbacks?
The Clemson quarterbacks, Tom Brady, Patrick Mahomes. You'll see. Is it more important for a quarterback to go to the right situation than like Ben Roethlisberger did, like Patty did, like Brady did, like Troy, versus
Actually, when Troy Aikman started, they were
Hey,
only 1
hey,
15.
Jamie, Dylan's first. Dylan's
You know
first.
that, right, Evan?
Dylan's
Um,
first.
If you want to talk about mediocrity, the
Evan did
Jacksonville
finish the
Jaguars
question.
might be that one team.
Hold on,
But
Dylan. Evan didn't finish the question.
is
Go
it
ahead.
more important? I see everybody's ready to bark at the tree. Is it more important for a quarterback to go to the right situation than it is to have a quarterback and build around a quarterback?
well,
It depends what era you're talking about.
Jamie, Dylan's first.
well,
Go ahead, Dylan. I'm sorry, Adam. I apologize. Go ahead,
I
Dylan.
mean, honestly,
sorry.
I think we could see it with Bo Nix. I mean, Bo Nix this past weekend's Tampa looked great, but you look at Trevor. I mean, the Jaguars franchise has been mediocre for 20 plus years. The one playoff game Trevor Lawrence won, they somehow won coming back from down 27-0 because Brandon Staley forgot that Austin Eckler was on his team. But maybe we saw this with Andrew Luck, and I think we're seeing a little with Trevor. Guys live, breathe, sleep, and sleep football. Tom Brady would kill you to win the game. Peyton Manning would rip off your head. I don't know if Trevor's that guy. Last night, I mean, there were some throws last night that Jamie could have thrown with his left foot, and Trevor missed them. And I'm like, oh, gosh. I mean, the one interception was awful. Awful. Jamie could have thrown with his left ear.
I'm actually a lefty, so believe it or not,
Okay,
I
you're
can throw
right here.
left-handed.
And it was frustrating.
I'm a
enough,
Michael
like,
Penix, dude. I'm lefty.
like,
All right, Rich, go ahead.
Or a Tim Tebow.
I
left-handed.
think your answer is yes. It's. I don't think it's an either or is the determination. You've got to get them in the right type of system, but you also have to have a quarterback that can hold their own and win games. I used to okay, let's use Mark Sanchez as the example. He takes the Jets to an AFC championship 2 years in a row, and then all of a sudden he becomes you have quarterbacks that, whether it's through offensive coordinators taking head coaching jobs or whatever, I talk about a lot of different times how football is the ultimate team sport.
Mhm.
You can't with just a quarterback or just a receiver or just a running back take control of a game like you can with a pitcher in baseball or with a goalie in hockey or with a star player in basketball. In football, you've got to have that team around the quarterback, which leads to that system. So you have to have the quarterback go into the right situation. It makes no sense to have Peyton Manning in a system where they want to if he would have gone, let's say, to Atlanta during the Michael Vick era, it would have been completely stupid because you built everything for a running quarterback, a mobile quarterback, that kind of thing, and you bring in Peyton Manning, who you may as well nail his feet to the floor.
Rich, Michael Vick was before now where everybody's basically a dual threat. That's the difference.
Well, but you still have some guys now that aren't exactly the most mobile that are out. They can run if they have to.
I mean, the majority of them now. Sorry, not everybody.
But when you sit there and you look at the mindset of the quarterback, and I think that's where part of Justin Fields' problem was. In Chicago, he has 3 different offensive coordinators in 3 years, so he has to learn 3 different systems. I think you have to have a coaching staff that can build a system around the pieces he has. But at the same time, you have to have the good enough pieces to build around. Does that make any sense, Evan?
Yes, I want to hear Jamie's because I think all of you understand, or Jamie and Adam, I think all of you understand the question, but I think you're missing the point. So I'm gonna let the two of them go before I respond.
Go ahead, James.
Okay, who wants to go first here?
Oh, James, go ahead.
Okay,
You've been
so
trying to get it out. Go for it.
okay, so it always comes down to the age-old cliche. The quarterback gets all the glory and all the blame. But one of my key things is, like, I know, like, I believe, like, we have a Josh Allen type of quarterback, but like I said, the way that college has all these dual threat quarterbacks and the way the NFL is incorporating them, I think you have to have a quarterback that can run too, not just throw. Because, like I said, the era of Tom Brady and Peyton Manning, where they're just stones in the pocket, and where the plays are RPO now, that ain't gonna work. You got to have at least a quarterback that can run or be somewhat of a dual threat. That's what I think. Because like I said, it helps your running game and it helps your offensive line too when you have a quarterback that can run.
So you're saying quarterbacks get drafted into the right situation?
Yes, and they have to be a certain tendency of quarterback too.
Tom Brady and Drew Bledsoe were both not runners, so they were in a good situation right there.
But that was back before they started running RPO and everything too.
Right.
In the NFL.
So they drafted the same style of quarterback that they already had.
Right.
Everyone saw what happened when Bledsoe when he ran, and we got to find out about this guy number 12 who won 6 Super Bowls on that team.
And he was the same style quarterback, right?
made people MVP, like Julian Edelman, like Troy Brown. When he
Damian
didn't win
Madola.
the Super Bowl, those two guys did.
Actually, I think Troy Brown was actually a receiver that could have played with any quarterback. I actually think he was that good.
Well, you did get to see him twice a year, and I was lucky. And then you talk about the RPOs and everything else. I think teams do try to draft and bring in guys that they want to build around their guys.
Mm-hmm.
But not every team has all the receivers to fill in for that guy.
Mm-hmm.
Like we're seeing Jalen Hurts right now, who's looking very lost without AJ Brown, and now all of a sudden they don't have Devontae Smith, so they're going to have to rely on Johan Dodson, Justin Wilson, and Dallas Goedert.
In the running game with Saquon, because they got the heaviest offensive line in the league.
Right. But we're just talking about quarterbacks, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then you have Josh Allen, who we already talked about it. I think I was backstage. I don't think we talked about it on stage. But he has, like I even said it, and I would not trade him, even though I was offered a house for him. I would not trade him because there's no one guy on there, and he's able to make plays with everyone. So now we're going to see Josh Allen of old before they brought in a number one receiver. Now, I don't know if Diggs has thrown an episode yet down in Houston. I haven't seen it. But I'm just saying, like you got to get back to what works with your guys. Is that what you were getting at, Evan?
No.
No. Oh, damn it.
So everybody kind of got there and then kind of went off track. I'm a firm believer that you build your team before you build your quarterback. Here's why. I'm gonna give you 3-4 situations. Pittsburgh with Ben Roethlisberger. I'm gonna give you Brock Purdy. I'm gonna give you.
Who did the Steelers have besides Hines Ward?
I'll get into that.
Tommy Maddox.
Jerome Bettis.
I'll get into that. Hold on, guys. So you got Ben Roethlisberger, you got Brock Purdy, you got Brett Favre, Aaron Rodgers, and Jordan Love, and then you got Alex Smith and Patrick Mahomes.
What about Joe Montana and Steve Young too?
You can use those too. So with all of those names on the board, the reason I'm saying that I believe that it's more important to build a team versus drafting a quarterback and having a quarterback is because what you're seeing now is even though the RPO and the quick game is what the game is now, the process has never changed. And the reason I'm bringing this point up is because I want to hear what people think. Is because every guy on here is supporting a team that, besides Jamie, everybody here is supporting a team where they did not build around the quarterback. Because if you look at what those guys that I did name came into, Ben Roethlisberger came into a vet defense, a heavy run game, and a passing style that he ran in college. C.J. Stroud came into that as well. Patrick Mahomes. They didn't run what Patrick Mahomes was good at, but they had a quarterback he could sit behind and learn the NFL game and see the speed while they go get Tyreek Hill, while they go get guys that'll open up the field so that Travis Kelce could reach his second generation of his NFL career. You look at what Green Bay had when they had Favre. They had Ahmad Green. They ran the ball very well. Yeah, he threw the ball all over the place, but they ran the ball very well. And then when they drafted Aaron Rodgers, because he fell to him because Cleveland was a genius and not picking him, and I mean that sincerely, like that was a great – I'm so glad they didn't pick him because he wouldn't be the man he is today. But they then reset the roster, offense and defense, and went and won. You look at what the Chiefs did. They started to have a winning team. They built around it. They got the right young pieces. Boom, they find their guy in the draft, and what do while he's sitting on the bench? They go get the guys and the pieces around. Now, the reason I wanted to hear Dylan's point of this first was they said something in the game last week, and they said it again this week on the halftime show about young quarterbacks not having a good system around them in the sense that you see Jalen Hurts and Tua what they had in college versus what they had in the league.
For adventure. With power you can count
Do
on.
you guys feel like
Capability that doesn't compromise.
these teams are going backwards by drafting a quarterback first?
You can take you anywhere. It's Chevy. Current qualified Chevy less.
Well, it's always there. Well,
Who's got the TV on?
oh, sorry, I'll mute it. I forgot to do that. My bad, guys.
Oh, come on, Jamie. You're watching. Come on, Jamie. You're watching Michael K and Company tonight.
Oh, the Yankees? Yeah, I was.
Yes.
I forgot
Go ahead.
to mute it. I there was something I forgot to do, but to answer your question, Evan, I mean, in a way, yes, because because like I said, back in the day when everybody drafted these quarterbacks number one overall, they weren't as they except for Peyton Manning, they were running college offenses and weren't really NFL ready. And now it's like they may not be succeeding, but they're at least coming in more NFL ready. So you have to put them in the right situation because some of these guys are more pro ready. But if you don't put them in a good situation, it doesn't matter. It's going to hinder their pro readiness.
Jamie,
So yes, it is going backwards, I think, in a way, like you said, Evan. I agree.
Adam and Rich,
I meant to say Evan. Yeah, sorry, I said Adam. My bad.
you good? I said JV when I meant to say Adam. You good? So Adam and Rich, what do you guys think?
Go ahead, Rich.
I think he has a point. I think he has a very valid point. I mean, put a quarterback falling into a great situation, I think, is a luxury, especially nowadays. And now the GMs have the outlook that they have to get the quarterback and build around the quarterback. So, you Evan, you mentioned a few cases there. They're definitely the minority. We see it every year. We see 3, 4, 5 quarterbacks get drafted, and they build. They get dropped into a team, and here, go with it. Jordan Love had the luxury of getting some time under Rodgers, but that's not a commonplace thing. I think you're right. To the largest extent, the team outlook. Not saying that it's right, but the current team outlook is to get the quarterback and build around him.
And I don't get that. And Adam, before you go, I understand that they're the outlier, but look at what Houston did.
Yeah. Well, but Houston also did a couple of things because they went right behind that pick and got a top 10 defensive pass rusher, impact pass rusher, Will Anderson. They also get Tank Dell out of this situation. They bring in Dalton Schultz as a free agent. They draft Jalen Petrie out of Baylor to make an impact in the defensive backfield.
But wait, because that's
that was
the
all
second
the same
part.
year.
Jalen Petrie was the same year, wasn't the same year as CJ. He was the year before with DJ.
That's right.
He was the year before with Stingley, and that's what I'm trying to get at when I bring up Houston, is because you look at all of these teams, like you look at the Panthers. Let's be honest, if the Panthers has said the year before getting CJ Stroud, they had a mid-round early pick. Let's go get a corner, or let's go get another pass rusher that was available to get that, or we could go get a guy on the offensive line to fix up those needs. We know the quarterback that we want is there next year, and we're tanking for him. We already know that. So why?
Yeah,
So
but if
why
the
do
quarter,
teams? Why do teams not think ahead like that?
Who you tanking
well, and
for?
all you, they were tanking for CJ Stroud, but they wanted to get CJ Stroud. But my question on that, Evan, would be, and I'll use Daniel Jones as the example, and CJ Stroud's the same way to a degree. He had Nico Collins there, but he brought Nico Collins to the upper echelon receiver he is. If you bring in a quarterback that can have tremendous talent, but has absolutely nothing around him as far as receivers and running backs, it doesn't matter if you bring in Joe Montana. It ain't going to do anything. You know what I
Right.
mean? So, that's why I think the CJ thing worked so well, because not only did you have, Stroud comes in, you bring in Dell, you bring in Schultz, you brought in Singletary, those guys to go with him. If he would have been going with the same offense that Houston had in 2022, they don't do what they did last year.
Right.
No way, no how.
Exactly.
So, that's why I say it's building. It's both sides of the coin. You play both sides of the coin, to be honest.
You do, but if we think about it, let's look at teams that are not dynasties but Super Bowl winners. After they
Okay.
win the Super Bowl, what happens? They get picked apart, right?
Look at Tampa.
They get picked apart.
Yeah.
And
After
then
they won first, right.
and the pieces that they have left are the young guys that won the Super Bowl. And you get some more young guys around them. You
Yeah.
suck that year. You're trash the next year. So that's 2 years after the Super Bowl. If you take defensive guys, you take a tackle, you take a decent tight end that you can build around, you keep vets around, and then you go get your quarterback.
Yeah.
Why is that not the mindset of even the teams that need to rebuild now? Because you could look at the Bears and say, if the Bears went out and made the same moves they made this offseason and put that around Justin Fields, you telling me they're not winning football games?
Adam, I don't know about you. Jamie, I don't know about you, but I think it's because they have put fans, owners, everybody has put so much value on that quarterback position that the quarterback is the end all be all, that you're not going to do anything unless you have this upper echelon quarterback. That's just the way that things have developed over the last, say, 10 or 15 years. That the whole mindset, I got to have that quarterback. I got to have that quarterback. Whether I've got garbage around him or something that he can work with, I got to have that quarterback. And
because they're the
in a
ones
lot
that
of
get
cases,
they're the ones that get paid all the money. And like I said, the running backs don't. The Patriots were a prime example of that during their dynasty when they had Tom Brady. They started that where they didn't have to pay running backs or whatever, and Brady was a good quarterback because he earned the money. So there you go.
well, but wait, also Brady took pay cuts.
Matt,
Brady
Yes.
never got, as much as I hate Tom Brady with every fiber of my soul, Tom Brady never took what he should have been paid because he wanted to make sure that his offensive line was there. He wanted to make sure he had Gronk. He wanted to make sure that he had those guys and that they were getting paid. So Brady, Brady at least looked at the big picture and realized, okay, I can do all this stuff, but I got to have guys around me to do it. There ain't another quarterback in this league that's doing the same thing. They
It
all want
could
to
end
run.
up happening with the way they get paid now. They could say, I'll take pay cuts to build around me. With the way they pay
they
the
don't.
quarterbacks out, it could happen. That could be a trend.
So did the
We'll
Bears
see.
learn their lesson by not surrounding Fields with receivers that can catch the ball and brought them all in because they knew Caleb Williams was going to be kind of good, not good, and he had no knowledge of what he was going to be because most of us think he was going to be a disaster. I think the only one that wanted him to be good was the person over here.
Actually, me too, Adam. I'm sorry. Guilty as charged.
And I didn't like the kid in college, so I didn't think he was that good of a.
What Caleb Williams' problem
But-
is that he went to the one team that doesn't handle the quarterback position. The Bears still don't have a 4,000-yard pass. So Matt Eberflus, you should have been fired last year. Shane Walden, you were a bum in Seattle.
The reason why Matt Eberflus didn't get fired is because the defense played really well when they got Montez Sweat and they started winning games at the end of the year after being 0-4. So,
I mean, the Bears.
Guys, I hate to interrupt, but I got to head out. So,
All right,
Just
buddy.
wanted to
Hey,
let
let
you
me
guys
know about tomorrow. I hope the hurricane. Rich, if you got more important stuff to do, like run those game clocks and all that stuff, do it.
yeah, I mean, I produced the football game, so the Hurricanes. The radio station I'm working for right now is in Albany, Georgia, right in the middle of this hurricane that's coming up through the Gulf and all that. So they've moved our game to Wednesday night instead of Friday. So, but no, man, I appreciate it. I'll let you know as soon as I find out first thing in the morning. If they need me to run the board, it's cool. If I got somebody else to do it, then we'll be good. But I'll let you know.
Welcome
All right,
to
well,
my world, Rick. Stay safe.
All right.
See you,
Well,
Rex.
I'm not. If you got to do your real thing, you got to do your real thing.
All right.
wait, why did
I
Evan
appreciate it.
remove himself?
Yeah, I wonder what. Is he trying to come
Take this
back?
with you.
But anyway, guys, I appreciate it. I will catch y'all.
What the heck's going
Whoa.
on here?
What?
Just Dylan. Anyways, I will catch you guys later on.
There he is.
I gotta head out, but you guys take it easy, have fun, and we'll talk to you later.
Okay.
All right, man. Be safe.
Rich, how do we get a hold of you real quick?
Oh yeah, Twitter, X, whatever we're calling it this particular day, at Go Big Go Home Pod, or on Facebook. It's just my name, Rich Richardson, and let's talk.
All right, buddy. Maybe I'll see you tomorrow. Maybe I won't. Get it done.
Either way, talk. Appreciate
All
it,
right,
man.
cool.
Later,
All right,
guys.
guys.
And then there were 4. The final 4.
Evan, did we ever answer your question correctly?
You answered it the way that I wanted you to, which was organically, but I want to hear Dylan's thoughts about it because when the Jags had a great defense with Calais Campbell and a young Jalen Ramsey and all those other guys on that team, they go get a running back and then they go get the dude from UCF, who I'm a fan of. I just can't think of his name. Blake Bortles. They get somewhere,
And then we beat your Sully Steelers in the playoffs, Adam.
Right, and then they fall apart because everybody gets picked off. The stuff happens with the coaching staff. The quarterback starts to play bad, but they still had young pieces, and they went and traded those guys instead of giving them the bag with heavy early incentives in their contract while drafting other players to replace those guys, and then go get your Trevor Lawrence. And now you've rebuilt while you got guys on that team who know how to win, who have made it to the playoffs.
Well,
So
be honest,
Go ahead.
the biggest mistake the Jags made after that Saxonville season was giving Blake Bortles the bag because Blake Bortles was not a great quarterback. He just got hot for 2-3 game stretch. I mean, the playoff game against the Bills wasn't exactly a classic.
10-3. Yeah. And Nathan Peterman came in and threw one of his classic interceptions at the end of the game to seal the win for Jacksonville.
Was that the one he threw to Jalen Ramsey in the end zone?
Yeah, because the Bills actually had a chance to. They were driving they got the ball back and they had like a slim chance to go down the field and tie the game. Yeah, it was.
I mean,
But then it didn't matter because we ended up getting our superstar quarterback. That game was a blessing because we ended up getting the man, the myth, the legend that we have now. So
I mean, we were 3 or 4 minutes away from Blake Bortles Nick Foles Super Bowl, the lowest rated Super Bowl ever.
I don't. It's because I know Philly ended up winning that game. You don't think Jacksonville would have beaten Philly in that
No,
game? You think?
no.
No, I think it would have turned into like the Chargers and the Niners back in '94.
Yeah.
What was it, 52-10? Was that the final? I think in that Super Bowl.
In
I
'94
think
was
it was
49-26.
49-26.
49-26. 52-10. I think that was the Broncos and the Bengals, was it? Or Broncos and 49ers and the Broncos, 55-10. The Super Bowl before the Bills got in, it was.
Wait, Jerry Rice had 6 touchdowns against the Chargers.
I got a question, and I'm not trying to be. I got another question, and it's specifically for Dylan. I don't want nobody to think I'm trolling, so I'm saying this now. But I got a serious question.
I wish I had like a little intro or something to say serious.
I really got a serious question. Dylan, if you guys continue to struggle towards the deadline, would you trade Trevor Lawrence to the Vikings for a bunch of picks?
Why would the wait? How can the Jags do that? Because that throws in salary cap hell if we get rid of Trevor Steele, and the Vikings aren't getting rid of Sam Darnold.
The reason I ask this is because the salary cap don't mean nothing. It really don't, because if you look at it, that Patrick Mahomes deal when it came out, they weren't supposed to be able to go get guys and do what they did. He didn't take a pay cut for them. Dak didn't take a pay cut, and they've been signing guys and keeping it, even if it's homegrown, they've been keeping guys around them.
Well, then, if that were the case, then how come the Cowboys didn't sign Derrick Henry?
Because Jerry Jones is more. Never mind. I'm not going to take that low shot. Anyway,
Derrick Henry also isn't the reason why the Cowboys can't stop the run worth of beans. Like against
I don't know.
Buffalo.
Yeah, I don't know. Derrick Henry ran for like 9 million yards against the Ravens.
I have a better.
Yeah.
Why did you pick the Vikings out of all teams there?
Because I don't believe that. I like Sam Darnold. I actually wanted him to be my quarterback the year he came in the draft. I'm not gonna fake it. It was between him and Josh Allen as the number 1 pick overall. I knew the city wouldn't stand if the city would have burnt down if we took Lamar Jackson number 1. It just would have. The only 2 picks that were logical for me were Sam Darnold and Josh Allen. But at the same time, the reason I picked them is because Sam just has bad luck. And if this is just a miracle season, so be it. But you telling me a team that has great chemistry, they got a lot going on. You telling me Trevor Lawrence goes into a situation where there's not, there's some pressure because they're winning, but it's a new slate. Both teams get a new slate. I don't think Doug Peterson makes it through the end of the year.
But here's the problem with trading, Evan. Like I said, Rich says it all the time. When you pay those quarterbacks that type of money now, you can't trade them or buy them out anymore because you're done. You're stuck with them unless you have a Tua situation where he gets a
not
concussion.
true, Jamie.
Then you have to get out of that.
True.
Out of that money. That's the thing.
Deshaun Watson signed a 5-year extension in Houston before he got traded to Cleveland. That contract was not voided, gentlemen.
I know, but you're stuck with them now with that money. There's nothing you
right.
can do. You're stuck with them.
They don't have to
get a new coach. He's going to have to play with them too. You can't buy him out.
You could be like Denver and just release him.
Right. You said that's why I said if they were to give him up and go get a bunch of picks. I'm not saying this is something that's logical. I'm just saying the Doug Peterson looks like a bad hire. It just does. Especially after coming after Urban Meyer. It looks like Trevor. It looks like Trevor Lawrence is shook. And
Doug Peterson still done more than Urban Meyer ever did.
Absolutely. But you talking about the man that's lost 8 games in a row.
and hasn't looked good, and hasn't won a game since Week 12 against the Texans last year.
Right. And you right. So now we're sitting here saying, give him a fresh start. And then you go get all these draft picks. You're getting 3-4 first round draft picks, some seconds and a third to go do a quick rebuild.
That would be like what the Cowboys did when they traded Herschel Walker for 5 players.
The Jaguars
And every draft pick and every player they cut turned into a draft pick, and that's how they built their dynasty. So yeah, that would be cool for nowadays, because that was rare back then. It would be even cooler now if the Jaguars and the Vikings were to pull off some type of deal like that.
Because I mean, it makes sense it makes sense on all sides. But I really wanted to hear what Dylan felt about it.
I don't think Minnesota would get rid of Sam Darnold. By the way, I think Sam Darnold would look pretty well in Cleveland right now.
Okay, that's a fair shot.
I don't disagree with that, though.
It's a fair shot, but it's not Deshaun Watson's fault. We're not going to do that.
I don't know. I mean, Deshaun's looked awful.
No, he hasn't. No, he hasn't.
Evan's right, but Evan,
no,
you know
what
I've noticed watching the 2 games in my local area, right? Do you notice that they get stuffed when they run their regular offense? But you saw what they did against the Giants when they go no huddle. Like Deshaun Watson looks good when they go no huddle.
Yeah, that was the best I've seen Deshaun Watson look, was in that no huddle, hurry up offense.
They even did it against Dallas, and he didn't. And when they tried to do it against Dallas, when he went hurry up too.
I mean, instead of trying to turn into like low scoring affairs, why not let them run that shit and see if teams can stop it?
Tenny
I agree with that,
with Josh Allen against Tampa before he got fired, and they beat Tampa. They went hurry up with Allen, and it worked.
See, but there's 2 problems with that. Yes, and I'm gonna give you the benefits of it first. It keeps the defense on the field, and it makes it a hell of a lot easier for Deshaun. The only problem with Deshaun Watson right now is his mental game. It's not physical rust anymore. It's the mental game. And if he can beat out the media, and fans, he will be fine, and we will see the Deshaun Watson that we were expecting to see through the second half of the season this year. I guarantee it.
He's the kind of quarterback that's smart enough to run a no huddle, though. You can tell.
Right. He is. But once he gets his confidence and his mental health back, because we got to think about it. He came back after 11-game suspension, had a winning record, started to get his confidence, started to dance a little bit, came back, had some struggles, got hurt, came back, had a great win against the Cardinals. And yes, it was the Cardinals. But he got confidence. And then you go against Baltimore, and you have a true AFC battle. Adam knows something about that. You have a true AFC battle. And he comes out and wins the game in the fourth quarter, going 14 for 14. It's not an ability issue. It's a mental issue. The reason running the no huddle, even though it looked great, is a problem. Our offensive line is out of shape, for one. And 2, all of our pass weapons are not healthy. So if we're gonna run a no huddle offense up and down the field, now we got to figure out a way to keep our defense fresh. Because the real reason that we beat Jacksonville without being a troll about it is we had 3 or 4 drives. We had 2 to 3 drives that were 10 plays or more. And that's what really kept the defense fresh. If you go back and look at last year, whether it was Joe Flacco, Deshaun Watson, DTR, or whoever else it was, right? We had long drives. So that's where the issue there is for me. But we got to figure something out on this offensive line.
Well, not having healthy Jedrick Wills hurts.
I don't care if Jedrick Wills was healthy. At least when he's hurt, he's in one spot. Look, I screamed up and down for Tristan Wirfs. I screamed up and down for Tristan Wirfs because I knew we weren't gonna get the kid that's in Andrew Thomas that's in New York. I knew we weren't gonna get him. The Giants weren't gonna let him pass. I felt like us getting Tristan Wirfs was the right pick because he was the best lineman in the draft, and I still think if Jed Wilson went to Tampa Bay, Tom Brady and them still win that Super Bowl, and he's the starting right tackle on that team. Because you got to think about it, he played right tackle for Jalen Hurts and Tua, and then you move him to the left side and give him a semi-stationary quarterback, and then he's coming off an injury, expected him to block on the left side again for a mobile quarterback. This is not the right fit for Jed.
Hey, Evan, who's that big load you got? That was a rookie last year at tackle, the one who played basketball.
DeJuan Jones. DeJuan Jones is a great talent. It's only one problem.
Are you worried that he's a load though? That's the thing.
What you mean, like being too heavy?
Yeah.
So here's a little bit of an insight. Last year, the offensive coordinator, the offensive line coach and run game coordinator that we had that went over to coach with his son over in Tennessee, Bill Callahan. DeJuan Jones didn't make it through the first day of training camp. He threw up and had to get IV. He was throwing up very, very bad and had to go get IVs. And he got on his ass and stayed with him every day after practice for him to run and push to get in shape. What people don't know is that same thing happened at Ohio State. They was on him. They was on him, but they also allowed him to play basketball. You can't do that in the NFL because now you're worth millions of dollars. So now that we got this new dude who looked like a lighter version of a Chucky doll, I can't remember his name, but
he's Jack Conklin.
No. The offensive guy, the offensive line coach that we got from Seattle.
Let me look. I got the technology here. Let me do the research.
He don't get on his guys. He don't cuss these guys out, and that's what these guys have been used to since Kevin Stefanski got here. So now you got a guy that's standing here talking to the team, and it's like, all right, guys, try it this way. It's nice and polite.
Andy Dickerson.
Andy Dickerson. He nice and polite. We've been having a drill sergeant, and now we got a cheerleading coach. And I'm not saying this to be disrespectful to Andy Dickerson. Like, I'm not saying this to like talk bad about the man, but I am saying this to prove a point. Like, there's a vast difference in structure and no structure. When you got a guy that's pushing you to be your absolute best and also teaching you versus a guy that's giving you reassuring and it'll be all right next time, that shit don't work. You can't switch the two. It's a very vast change.
Evan, have they tried to sign Joe Thomas as a line coach?
They've tried. They've talked to Joe about it, but Joe never wanted to do it because of his son and daughters getting older, but he does like some temporary training as an offensive line coach over in Germany. And he always talks about it on the Browns radio network about, coaching one day when his kids get older. So I wouldn't be surprised if he come into the league in a couple years, like 2-3 years. I wouldn't be surprised. I just don't think it'll be right now.
Hey, guys, I have a question. What's the worst weather you guys have seen? Or have
worst weather?
Yes.
Like at a sporting event?
Can you repeat the question? It kind of went out.
Just in general.
Yes.
I mean, Evans by the lake. I mean, all you got to say is northern, and people are like, oh shit, we got like 12 inches of snow coming tonight.
Where I live in upstate New York, we get the really cold winters, but we get the Florida like summers where it's humid. So
if it misses the lake, I hate it when the lake's frozen because that means it just seems like the weather just travels further.
Yeah, but you know what's cool about a frozen lake? Pond hockey.
Jamie, they only do that up there.
Mhm.
They don't do that on Lake Erie.
But let me tell you about.
Pennsylvania's hockey.
Go ahead, Dylan.
Let me tell you about my hurricane.
Utah's
adventure.
pond
I
hockey.
was 6 weeks old when Hurricane Andrew came through here. Luckily, I wasn't at Homestead. I was in Naples. And my mother says that Andrew was the first time I slept entirely through. And
You
then,
slept through a hurricane?
sort of. And then, of course, we were in Fort Myers for Charlie and Wilma on the East Coast for Irma, back over here for Ian, and then Thursday afternoon we'll have probably another hurricane come past us. Hurricane Helene heading to the Panhandle, Big Bend region of Florida. So thoughts and prayers for everybody up there.
Wait, did your house back in the day, Dylan, did it have a basement or not? Because I know, like I said, the way the modern houses now in certain parts of Florida, they don't build them with basements anymore because of that reason. Like my uncle's house in Cocoa Beach is only one floor, and he did it for that particular reason, to not because of the hurricane.
Jamie, we have fewer basements than Travis Kelce has got receiving yards this year.
Yeah, but I think, aren't you in a basement or are you in a living room? What's
No,
that?
I'm in my home office.
Oh,
Shit.
what the heck's
Sorry.
going on here?
Sorry, wrong button. Sorry, wrong button. Sorry.
Okay.
I'm waiting for someone to put us all on bubbles.
Like Dave Chappelle would say, "What the hell's wrong with you?"
Well, I love it.
All right, we're
Anyway.
playing games here too much.
Yeah, we get the full bucket.
Adam, I know you're doing this. I knew it was you. I wasn't fooled.
No, I did the bubbles. That was the only one I. That was the only one I did.
You're screwing with
That
us.
was Jamie. Jamie, that was the only one I did. Did not bring Evan back in.
I love talking to Evan. Hey, he's our UFL host guy.
I know, but he's backstage for a minute. See, this is the bubble. Like, I don't know if I like this being all close like this. Like,
There's only 3 people.
I didn't say, Jamie. You see both my hands. I'm not doing any of this.
Honestly, I think this is a great view. I think it gives up more space, and it's not like we're like all crowded.
It does look cool.
I like how it has your dog right there in the back. That's pretty cool.
Right.
Right around the. Oh man, got that cough going on, huh?
Spit take.
Yeah. Hey, did anybody see? That's actually pretty funny that you added me back on accident. Did anybody see Max Crosby's post game?
No, what happened?
So he didn't know that the cameras were live when he was walking up, and it looked like he was hitting a leaf. If you know what I'm saying.
Oh, smoking the little doozy, that ooh-wee, that hip, the Mary Jane.
Yep.
Oh yeah, he was smoking weed, man, on camera. Laramie Tunzel 2.0, here we come. Except that was on draft night.
Now, do they allow it now with medical cards?
Well, the league no longer tests for it, so I don't think it's really a problem. I just think that it's a bad. I think that because people are talking about it on Twitter and TikTok, that he's going to get in trouble for it.
I love the smell of good weed, dude. Anywhere you go, like it smells so good.
I just don't care.
Or as Jon Stewart used to say back in the day on the Daily Show, it's so good.
I don't know about these bubbles. You guys like the bubbles? What do you guys think?
I kind of do. I think when we have 6 to 8 guys on here, this will be perfect. Pause.
All right. Well, we'll give it a whirl.
The Raiders.
I got to get up in the morning, guys. I'm getting old. So I'm going to go ahead and get off of here and let you guys take over. It was great to be on here with you guys. You can find me at Talking Sports by the Lake. I'll have some special guests on this week, hopefully, if we can get our schedules to align. So look out for that. You can catch all our great content here on Driving to the Top Productions, but I will leave you with the 3 GOATs of the channel, and I'll see you guys next week.
Later, Ev.
You still going to be working on the UFL show, Evan?
Absolutely, Jamie. I'm gonna actually email you about that so we can start getting something together.
Yeah, we actually got to talk about the Showboats hired a new coach and a GM.
Yep, we're gonna get into all of that. We're gonna
And
start real
Wisdom,
soon.
Mm-hmm.
All right, my man. Peace,
Yeah.
y'all.
All right, take it easy, buddy.
Yeah,
Hey,
Adam.
can you get me in
Showboats
touch
hired
with
Ken Wisdom.
the
You know,
Houston
that.
Texan fan, you know?
Way too close. What the fuck? Is that better?
Yeah, I at least look less like a fathead, which is good. Remember those? Get clean up your room with a fat head. I'm a fathead. You call me a fathead? Those were popular fatheads.
Those are back in the day.
Yeah, I had fatheads actually.
I never had one. I never cared to have one, actually. That's just me, though.
Mm-hmm.
Now we're spread out.
Spread out like a 5 wide receiver formation. Yeah.
You guys got anything else you want to cover right now, or we want to call it a day?
Just hopefully the Jaguars are better this Sunday against Houston. Otherwise, I don't want to see them. Oh yeah, let's see. Vikings kick Houston's butt. The Bills kick Jacksonville's butt. So whose butt's going to? So who's going to be the butt of everyone's joke?
Got a
Joking
big
Space
rebound
City.
right now. I think Houston's got a bigger rebound. That was embarrassing.
Well, yeah. I mean, CJ Stroud, the Texans look like they miss home field advantage in Minneapolis.
The one thing about CJ Stroud, though, he's acceptable to getting sacked a lot, though. That's what probably Minnesota did.
By the way, Larry Tunsil's got 10 penalties this year. Isn't he being paid like $25 million?
Who?
What about
Oh,
Jawan
oh.
Taylor for the Chiefs? He's Mr. Penalty, too.
Full start on the offense. 5 yards. By the way,
Full start on everybody but the center. I love
Didn't that one
that.
guy have 3 offside calls on the same drive?
Jawan Taylor, I think he did.
I think that's what I think they did too.
by the way, did you guys see the blatant PI the refs missed on Kyle Pitts the other night?
That was awful. And the funny thing, what I said was on my show, the Cincinnati PI, that was the exact same penalty, and they called it on. And Kansas City got the benefit for that call, and it was the same thing they did to Pitts, and they didn't call it.
What is that? What the heck is that?
Mascot.
Oh, it's a thing you're throwing to the dog. Okay.
Yeah, it's a rope.
Thought it was a sex.
She gave up. Dude, she has to have like one of them fucking tow ropes.
It looked like a sex toy, dude. No offense.
Oh no!
Huh?
I didn't know we were doing porn now. Jeez.
Oh no!
It's
This
related.
is now turned rated X, ladies and gentlemen.
All right, never mind. Moving on. Moving on up to the east side, like Justin Jefferson making catches for Minnesota. Anyway,
Yeah. We good, guys? We good?
Yep.
everybody eats when James cooks, and nobody circles the wagons like the Buffalo Bills.
Oh my god.
And nobody-
Maybe where
and
people reach. Where people reach there.
Me or Dylan?
Whoever wants to go first.
Big D Podcast, Spunky Spectrum Sports. You could see my you could see my rant on Caleb Williams today. I did post a short about it.
He sucks. Anyone, any Houston fans out there would like to get in contact with Dylan? He's looking for someone to come on and talk on his show. Let him know. Of the people listening, I know I picked up a couple of Houston guys this week. They might be watching. So if anyone's interested in talking Houston with Dylan right now, he's right there. bro.
Yep.
Not
Okay. And then you can follow me, yours truly, at Bill's Chat 1 at Bill's Mafia Chat, and also Jamie Malloy at DJ Dog Tags, as it says right down the bottom of the screen on X. The social media platform, not the drug. Don't do X, kids. Anyway, and then you can also follow me at theforkball.com, where I write about all sports. And don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube page, like, comment, and ring that bell like Anita Ward for that notification. And also for more information on our Driving to the Top content, visit our YouTube page, Driving to the Top Productions, our Facebook stream, our Twitch stream, or wherever you consume your podcasts. And we're always driving to the top.
So, yep, I am at Sports Talking It on the X, the Bird. Doing everything I can on Driving to the Top Twitter page, trying to get our YouTube page out there. I don't know if everyone is subscribed. I thank you. You can find me on the Facebook there under Ad McNally. Anybody wants to talk, let it go, let it rip. Bring it here. Jamie already covered who we are, and he's saying let's go. But hey, thanks for tuning in, everyone, and everybody have a good night.